Greetings, my name is Belle. Hello to all the mystics and the dreamers out there. I want to do a video today about some of my thoughts on life and questioning the nature of reality. I've been reading a lot of thought-provoking material recently. I've been kind of trying to keep my mind open and expand my sense of what is possible. So I wanted to share some of those ideas with you and just kind of make sure I keep the flow of possibilities going. Well, I wrote down a few notes, so maybe I'll stick to the notes. As soon as the camera comes on, I tend to go blank a little bit, but anyway, let's start with the beginning. The last couple of days I've been reading a book by Paul Levy called Dispelling with Tico, and it's called, under that it says Breaking the Curse of Evil. The section that I've been reading recently is the section on the human psyche, and it's really interesting. I haven't read as much in-depth information about the human psyche as this book, I don't think. And he says he reads a lot of Carl Jung, I think, in the introduction to the book. So I haven't read that much Carl Jung, so that could be part of it, but it's good to hear the ideas about the human psyche in contemporary language. Anyway, so one of the big ideas in the section on the human psyche is the relationship between the outside world and our inner thoughts and beliefs. So typically in our culture, we have a huge boundary between our thoughts and beliefs, which we consider to be like in our brain only, and then we have our individual sense of self, and then we have the outside world. But in other cultures or other ways of conceiving of the human psyche, as Paul Levy describes in this section on the human psyche, there's actually a direct relationship between our inner beliefs and the world around us. So another way of saying this that a lot of people have been talking about in New Age literature recently is that we create our own sense of reality, and we create our own sense of what is possible in life. And as Paul Levy says, it's actually a feedback loop. So we are interpreting what's going on around us, and then we think that that's the way the world is. So then our inner beliefs reflect back that that's the way we think everything is. Let's wait for my phone to stop ringing. I could just hear the buzz in the background there. So it's this feedback loop that keeps us kind of caught up in the life being a certain way. I don't know. So what he's saying in this section on the human psyche is that there's more of a relationship between the outer world and our inner sense of the world. And actually, another way of saying this is a cognitive map, and that is by Ralph Abraham in his book, Chaos, Gaia, Eros. He talks about how we think we know what the world is like, but in a way, we're only relying on our cognitive map that's internal. And I think that the idea of this cognitive map that we have in our belief system internally can have a role in this idea of the relationship between the outside world and our inner world. It's really interesting. It's new to me. I mean, I guess it's just like this part of my learning and growing, but it's not new to a lot of people. I think a lot of people are, already are operating in terms of knowing that their personal beliefs are going to be reflected back to them in the outside world. But the problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but you can believe whatever you want to believe. So if you have a belief that doesn't really work for you and you never address it, then it's never going to be alleviated. So anyway, it's empowering, definitely personally empowering, but at the same time, it makes you want to be more careful about what you believe. It makes me want to meditate more, because I feel like I want to kind of clear out different stuff and just have a sense of what I really want to believe about myself and about the world, instead of just taking on a lot of beliefs that aren't really that much in line with what I want. So along these lines, sometimes I get a sense that individuals, since everyone has this relationship between their outer world and their inner belief systems, sometimes I have gotten a sense that when you're around certain people, they tend to tell you about their view of life, whether this is in that many words or kind of under the surface. They'll kind of try to, not necessarily in a horrible way, but I feel like a lot of people will try to convince you that their view of the world is the correct view of the world. And especially considering that there's more of a relationship between our beliefs and the world we experience, I feel like it's a bad idea to listen too much to other people. Like, I think we should take inspiration only, which I've said a lot in different videos. We should take inspiration and then create our own belief system so that we really have the life that we want to live. Yeah, so along those lines, I've written down, expand your mind, be empowered, and think for yourself. So this is basically a note to self that I wanted to share. So I'm going to be expanding my mind, trying to empower myself as much as possible, and I'm going to be thinking for myself. Excuse me. Another thing that Paul Levy keeps saying in his book is that he keeps talking about the dreamlike nature of reality, which is really cool to me, because that's what I want to write about too, is the dreamlike nature of reality. And I felt kind of weird for wanting to write about that, because that's not the culture I was raised in. But that's one of the ways I need to empower myself and kind of just live literally the way I want to live. And so it's really nice to hear all this different literature that is interested in kind of the cutting edge ideas, that just because they're cutting edge doesn't mean they're not true. I think I definitely can see this concept of the relationship between outside world and inner life as being really important. And I won't go into all of it, but he even talks about the nature of symbols and kind of the embedded meaning in different aspects of life, which is part of synchronicity to a lot of people. So anyway, that section on the psyche is really interesting. Let's see. So the other thing that plays into all this stuff that I'm talking about is when I was in the car this morning, I had my iPod on shuffle, and then I ended up getting around to listening to this audio program I have by William Buhlman. William Buhlman is a really huge out-of-body explorer, and different things that he has said fit into the ideas that I was thinking about from Paul Levy. And I think I've talked about this in another video, but the idea that from William Buhlman that we're living in a consensus reality, and that when you astral travel or have an out-of-body experience, there are other consensus realities, or you can think for yourself and explore on your own. So this is what's really exciting to me, is really just committing to exploring on my own, committing to empowering myself, and having my own sense of life. And obviously, I don't know, I don't think there's any real danger there. I think there's a need for balance and equilibrium, but I don't really see there being that much danger in thinking for yourself. I think the danger is accepting things that don't work for you. I think that's the real danger. interesting. Interesting. You can see kind of, I think throughout this video, you'll see how I'm kind of grappling with these different ideas, which is pretty cool. So after listening to the words of wisdom and the words of experience from William Buhlman and reading the psyche ideas from Paul Levy, I was thinking that it's really cool to spark your own imagination and let your sense of the possible expand. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I want to share that in the video today. See if I got everything in my notes. I have written down, note to self, believe in yourself. And you can see this with a lot of successful people. Like, one of the reasons they're successful, and I think success is the way we define it, but they have defined success for themselves, and then they believe in themselves, and that's why they achieve what they want to achieve in life. And I put success and achievement in brackets or whatever, because I think we shouldn't necessarily buy into the media's version of what is successful and what is achievement. But on the other hand, we should be realistic and honest with ourselves about what we really want in life. So just the last idea I have is, one of the ways I'm looking to expand my consciousness and expand my sense of possibilities and the sense of what I want to experience in the future is that I have been trying to pay more attention to my dreams. I've been trying to astral travel. I haven't really been able to, but I was just listening to a technique from William Buhlman about trying to, if you can be aware of your dream, you can wake yourself up in the dream, and then you can use that as a launch pad for astral travel. So that might be the technique that works for me, since I am usually able to remember a lot of my dreams. I'm going to try to use that technique for expanding my sense of what's possible within the dream state. And other thing I wanted to say is, I want to share that I am in the process of empowering myself to live my best life, and that means to me having everything I want in my life. And I'm already doing a great job with that. Like, I already have a lot of aspects, a lot of elements in my life that I really wanted. And 5 or 10 years ago, what I have now in my life, I didn't think it was necessarily possible, but it's what I really wanted. And it did come into my life. Like, I did, I don't want to say achieve, but I did eventually stumble across, or I was able to add all the elements to my life that I wanted from 5 or 10 years ago. And recently I've been in the process of deciding what I want for the next 5 or 10 years, what I want those elements to be. And it's been a lot of letting go of old ideas and letting go of negative ideas, because I feel like I haven't been empowering myself as much as I could. I have to some extent, and then on the other side, I haven't been empowering myself as much as I could. So the last few days have just been really fun, because I just feel like I've been exposing myself to new ideas, and the new ideas have been expanding my sense of what is possible and expanding my sense of empowering myself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you feel empowered. I hope you can expand your mind or have an open mind about life. I really hope you can think for yourself and spark your own imagination. I really recommend going to a used bookstore or a bookstore and picking out the book that's like on the edge of what you think is possible, but it still appeals to you. That's what has worked for me really well. I keep having like what I consider the cutting edge for what I believe. I keep pushing myself a little further, and it's really worked out well. I don't know, it just really, it really has. I'm really excited about the sense of possibilities in life. It's just something about knowing that we have the ability to have control of our own imaginations and our own belief systems is just really exciting to me. So I've really been enjoying everything, and I hope to continue to add these elements to my life that'll help me keep enjoying everything. So I'm at about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to sign off. But thank you for watching this video, and feel free to share any ideas that you feel like that are along these lines in the comments or whatever you want to do. And I will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.